We also should talk about what happened last night. The Democratic candidates took the stage last night for the second televised debate. The candidates clashed over health care. They took the time to criticize President Trump as well.
Donald Trump is part of a corrupt, rigged system that has helped the wealthy and the well-connected and kicked dirt in the faces of everyone else.
America is great, but not everyone can access America's greatness.
Tonight, as we speak, right now, 500,000 Americans are sleeping out on the street.
We've got to summon the courage to walk away from the past and do something different. This is our shot.
Let's turn to our panel on this now. Tendayi, did you hear anything in terms of economic policy from the candidates that you found intriguing? One thing that stood out to me was Tim Ryan talking about appointing a cabinet minister to oversee manufacturing.
Yeah.
But aside from that, there wasn't anything that really stood out to me.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a very revealing point, right? There was a lot of discussion of kind of broader philosophical ways about how you think the economy should be structured, how healthcare should be structured, how student loans should be structured and education funding should be structured. But there wasn't anything that was like, oh, we need to do this on the economy in the next 6 months, in the next year. I'm going to do this the first day I'm in on the economy, which tells you that the economy probably is doing pretty well.
Right, they can't run on the economy.
But there is this clash between the left wing of the party and the moderates, and you see that in the debate over Medicare for all who want it, whatever. Take a listen to what they said, and then let's come back to Emily on this.
We can go down the road that Senator Sanders and Senator Warren want to take us, with bad policies like Medicare for all, free everything, and impossible promises that'll turn off independent voters and get Trump reelected.
Healthcare is a human right, not a privilege. I believe that. I will fight for that.
And we should stop using Republican talking points in order to talk with each other about how to best provide that health care.
Emily, what stood out to me is that clearly the candidates had been reading columns in different newspapers because they were using quotes from these columns, like on immigration, you got to ring the doorbell before we're going to let you in, those kinds of things.
Right.
What do you see in that health care argument and this clash between left and moderate? Who's winning?
Right. That's something I think was a major theme in the first round of debates, too, back in Miami. And that's really what I think is going to be the ideological separation and what differentiates whoever actually clinches the nomination from the Democratic Party. Because we do have the Sanders and the Warrens and the Medicare for all kind of debate. And then we do have the pragmatists who are talking about, maintaining that private health care component of the economy. So I think that's going to be what ultimately defines whoever wins the nomination, just because that is such a clear divide, whereas for some of these other policy issues, we haven't seen a whole lot of differentiation among the candidates yet.
And what was also interesting last night is that you saw almost a reframing of the progressives versus moderates as dreamers versus realists, I think is how they were sort of casting themselves, right? Where Elizabeth Warren sort of fired back at John Delaney and said, why are you going to run for president if you're not going to dream big and have big ideas? And he kind of said, well, you want to be able to get stuff done.
Okay, so we've been talking about all of this stuff from a financial, economic standpoint. You're an economist, but people don't vote, do they? Based on economic theory and pragmatically, they vote emotionally.
I think when the economy is bad, people vote based on economic, maybe not theories, but based on promises somebody makes about how they can fix the economy. So I think the reason that you're seeing these kind of big philosophical debates is because the economy is doing relatively well. If the economy was doing bad, they'll be talking about, I'm going to do this on unemployment benefits, things like that, much more practical and day-to-day things. But this is more philosophical because the economy is in a good place.